I think this is probably going to be our final live Zoom of this crowdfunding campaign. Just to kind of start this out, this is the fourth call I've done. The other three are already, the video has been posted on my YouTube channel. Just search for Konnected with a K if you haven't seen those. And we're in the final week of our crowdfunding campaign. So less than a week left to go to invest in Konnected. And last time I checked earlier this morning, we were at $790,000, which is fantastic. I'm so, grateful to all of you for participating and encouraging and investing and telling your friends and all of this wonderful feedback. And I'm really excited about the future, about this year and next year and where we're going. So the agenda for today's call is I'll talk for a few minutes about kind of one of the latest developments is I posted last week some open job roles. Now that we've got some cash in the bank, looking to scale up the team. Obviously, we need the right team to execute on our growth plans and product development plans and sales plans. And so I'll go over that a little bit and then just kind of segue right into the questions, and hopefully we'll get as many questions answered as we can. Let's see. So first, let's talk about like kind of my plan for hiring immediately, and then also kind of looking forward how that looks over the next year or so. But, I had to kind of, sort of pare it down to a few key roles that I think we need to bring in to the team immediately to kind of execute on the things that I want to execute on, which is namely like building more of a cohesive and a complete alarm system kind of retrofit, as well as some hardware devices. Like I said in my product roadmap in the last call, some new hardware to complement the connected alarm panel, to bring in wireless sensors, to bring in LTE communication, to bring in a touch screen or like a wall mounted display. So those are kind of the ideas that we have on the product roadmap. And to execute on that, I think first and foremost is we need more engineering help, particularly on the software side. So one of the number one roles that I'm interviewing for and have had a couple of great interviews already is a software engineering role. And this might be one individual or two individuals. I'm not 100% sure yet. I've kind of broadly defined the role software engineer without kind of going into too much detail about which technologies, because I think that can be fluid depending on the skills and aptitude of the individuals that we can bring in. But just kind of as a high level, Konnected has a mobile app that's basically written in a hybrid mobile app framework, which may change some point to be native mobile, native iOS, or native Android. That's definitely on the table. I'm looking for some help on the cloud integration side. So our cloud service, which is built on AWS IoT and AWS Lambda, which is kind of one of the cornerstones of our growth plans in order to, address the mass market and integration with the cloud-based smart home platforms like Alexa and Google Assistant and IFTTT and other things like that. The cloud is a very important component of that. And so I've been doing most of the development work on that so far. That's kind of my expertise as a software engineer in my previous career before starting Konnected. That was kind of my jam. So I've got plenty of experience there, and would be more than happy to grow a team of software engineers that can work on mobile app, work on cloud infrastructure, work on our local and like land-based integrations, as well as device firmware, like the embedded software that goes on the device. So this software engineering role is fairly broadly defined, and depending on the candidates that I bring in, we'll see kind of where the focus goes. And like I said, it may be a couple individuals, maybe one. We'll have to kind of map that out as we go. So engineering is obviously a key role that we're going to need grow our products. And then on the sales and marketing side, I've got two key roles that I'm looking for. One is like kind of a director or possibly even a VP level of business development and sales on the B2B side. So I know we've talked about this a number of times. Konnected has we've basically made our mark in the direct to consumer DIY space, and that's great. That's proven that this product has legs, that people want it, that it works, and you've got tons of feedback from this kind of early adopter, do-it-yourselfer crowd, and more and more demand from like the long tail of the consumer electronics consumers out there. And in order for us to effectively address that, we need to be able to position our product so that the installers and dealers and people who are going into people's homes to install security systems or home technology or video doorbells or thermostats or things like that have connected products in their tool belt as one of the tools that they use to satisfy the customer's need. Now, as we can all assume, like the end user need or desire for smart home connected home monitoring is only going to get stronger and stronger as these IoT devices and smart home devices, permeate our homes. Like we've got millions of Alexa and Google Assistant devices. So this director of BD and sales is going to help us really define that go-to-market strategy to get the product into the hands of our dealers and installers and build a partnership with those types of service providers. And we've tried to do some of this, organically as we've grown, and it's been challenging and frustrating with some successes here and there. And so I think part of the problem is just that we've not had a strong focus on that. And I personally don't have business development or sales experience. So bringing in somebody on a high level in that role who's worked in a technology company before, who's scaled a sales team, who's led a sales team, who's defined a go-to-market strategy and has been able to basically repeat it and sell it and make it scale is going to be critical to kind of our success to accelerate in our sales in that B2B segment. I've already interviewed a couple candidates for that. It's so far so good. So I'm really impressed with like the brains coming from this community. We've done a little bit of job posting on LinkedIn and just through this community, and so far have had a number of great candidates coming in, and it's really exciting and sort of hard to keep up, but I'm doing my best. And then on the sales and marketing side, there's a little bit less of a senior role, but I'm looking for somebody who's very passionate about home security, home automation, smart home, IoT, home tech, and is also a very good writer and content creator, and can take these kind of technical concepts and ideas and articulate them in all forms of content and media. And this role would be basically our community and content manager. I think any of you who have used Konnected and have kind of dug through our website know that we've got, we've got a number of articles and videos, and things are a little bit scattered, and I've got a great knowledge base, but it may not always be like fully organized and up to date. And so I'm looking for somebody who can really take ownership of all of the content around Konnected and what we've built, and kind of keeping that updated, creating new content, creating new ideas to work with our marketing, our direct-to-consumer marketing team for videos and social media content, writing articles, writing documentation, improving the information architecture of our knowledge base and documentation. So that community and content manager role is really important in really kind of being the voice and the language of Konnected, and creating content and publishing it to, serve a couple of goals, introduce people to what the product is and why they should want it, and also give them the confidence in that the connected products are going to do what they need it to do, and also give them the the knowledge and confidence and ability to install it and set it up and configure it with their platforms. The other role that I'm looking for, and I'll just briefly touch on this, is like trying to build an executive advisory board. And that might look like 4 to 5 individuals who have, grown companies before, who have led companies, who have scaled companies, who have experience in the consumer electronics industry or IoT industry or security industry or engineering in general and compliance. Just basically trying to surround myself with people who have done successful things before, who would be willing to kind of consult on like maybe a monthly or a bi-weekly basis and be like part of the team, but not a hands-on part of the team. So that's what this executive advisory board kind of role potentially looks like. And like I said, 4 to 5 people ideally to kind of build out that team. And that's not a full-time position. It would be more of like a stipend plus stock options, things like that. The other roles I'm looking at are going to be full-time, salary plus, potentially commission or on-target earnings for the sales role. And I firmly believe that all employees should have some ownership in the company, so stock options as well. So since we're kind of like short on time, I don't know what happened here. I will kind of segue into questions right now, and feel free to use the chat to ask any questions. And somebody asked, Jay asked, can I get a copy of the product roadmap from the previous Zoom? It's on our YouTube, so just go to the, and it's also posted in the update section on the StartEngine. Just watch that video and you'll get the whole the previous Zoom. So one question is, so the fire alarm side of things, most panels isn't present in any format being offered from Konnected. Will that remain, or do you have a plan? If no, probably not going to expand any further, folks. I'm not sure if I fully understand the question, but I think what this person is asking is like, okay, Konnected doesn't really communicate in any format or any protocol that is kind of industry standard in the alarm industry. Do we have a plan to address that? Actually, yes. So I did talk about that a little bit briefly in the last call. We're looking into building an add-on to the Konnected product family that would have like a cellular or LTE chip in it that would be able to emulate some of the signals that a traditional alarm system would produce in the event of like an intrusion or a detection event. So that is on the roadmap. I understand that, yes, in order for us to create a compelling product offering for that established security industry, we are going to have to play nice with those industry standards. And so that is something that we are addressing. It's going to take some development time, but we are going in that direction. Somebody else asked, why can't I invest? I'm from the UK. Yes, unfortunately, residents from the UK and Canada are not permitted to invest in the StartEngine regulation CF. And I don't fully understand the reason for that, but StartEngine has said that it's due to certain regulations or attitudes by regulators in those countries who see that even though this is like a United States Securities and Exchange Commission, sanctioned offering, for whatever reason, the regulators in the UK and Canada feel it would be under their jurisdiction. So in order to be safe and protect you guys, StartEngine has decided not to accept investments from Canadian or UK residents. There's not much I can do about that, so sorry. What exactly does an investment get you? The investment gets you ownership, stock in the company. I can't guarantee any return. I can't guarantee there's any time frame to get a return. Your shares are restricted for at least 1 year. After 1 year, they can be resold, although there may not be a market to resell them or a buyer to resell them to. People have, kind of typical ways that a startup investor gets a return is usually in an acquisition or a merger or something like that. at some point in the future, potentially an IPO, potentially another investor comes in and buys out the old investors. I can't say if any of those things are going to happen or likely to happen, but your investment in Konnected is most likely going to be illiquid for quite some time. So don't expect like any kind of immediate liquidity or dividends or anything like that. It's very uncommon for a startup to pay dividends. We'll be reinvesting all of any income into growth, and likely will be net income negative for the next couple of years as we're investing in growth. So if there are any more questions about that, you can just reach out to me. But I can't really tell you how you're going to get a return, because obviously, like, my role as the CEO is to, keep the company's best interest and the shareholders' best interest in mind, and grow this company to create shareholder value. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to do my best, but of course can't promise anything. Somebody asked me about if I'll be able to share additional financials. I'm specifically interested in gross profit and net income for the last couple of years. Well, all of that is disclosed in our SEC filings, which you can get from the StartEngine page. So if you go down to the very bottom of the StartEngine page, there's a link that says offering details and SEC filings, and you can see our 2019, 2020, and 2021 financials, including profit, net income, and all of those things. If you have any specific questions about that, happy to answer. I'm not sure what else I can say about that, but all of that information is public, so you can go ahead and download it. Somebody else asked, I enjoyed my purchase of Konnected until 2 years ago, the SmartThings update, where functionality became more difficult. Are there alternatives to SmartThings? Yes, absolutely, there are alternatives to SmartThings. I still like SmartThings. SmartThings is a great product and our biggest integration partner. But Home Assistant is probably the next best thing if you wanted something that's more powerful and more flexible. And Home Assistant has really reached its stride in the last year or so. Home Assistant is an open source home automation platform that you can run yourself on a Raspberry Pi. And it does a really great job. And, it's fast and it's local and it's secure and it's immensely powerful. So if you guys are dissatisfied with SmartThings, look at Home Assistant. And part of our philosophy as a device maker and integrator is like, I want our customers to understand that, like, Konnected is not locking you into any platform. You're not dependent on Konnected. You're not dependent on SmartThings. You're not dependent on any one platform. We're going to continue to grow and iterate on our many integrations and let you have the ability to jump between them. So there's no vendor lock-in here. Let's see. It looks like I'm out of time. I'm not sure what happened here because we should have had 40 minutes, but it looks like we're going to be cut off in a minute. So if there are any additional questions, send me an email, nate@konnected.io, or comment on the StartEngine page. If we need to do another one of these live calls, we can. And if not, I'm so thrilled to see you guys and make this company grow as fast as possible. Thank you again for your investment and for your time. And I will talk to you all soon.